everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie and in today's video I'm going to be reading winter themed thriller books. So before I get into the video, please remember to like this video if you enjoy it and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content. I primarily read fantasy, thriller and romance books and I post videos every Sunday. So like I said, this video I'm going to be reading winter themed thrillers. I always seem to buy like summer and winter themed thriller books and then season passes and I haven't read them. So I've got quite a few on my TBR that I want to read, so we're going to get reading them. So the first one on my TBR is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I have absolutely no idea what this one is about, but basically like narrow down my TBR, what was winter themed thrillers. I literally just googled winter themed thrillers and these four came up. So if they're not, then Google's wrong. So Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. And then I have No Exit by Taylor Adams. I believe both of those books are on Kindle Unlimited. That's where I'll be getting them from. I then have An Unwanted Guest by Shari Lapena. I did try and read a Shari Lapena book earlier this year and I didn't really get on with it. And I think the issue was me. I just think I didn't want to read the book. I wanted to read something else. So I did DNF that one, but I am going to give her another go and maybe give that book another go as well. But I am actually quite excited to give this author another go. And then finally we have The Last to Disappear by Jo Spain. I've heard a lot about this author, especially recently. I feel like she's really blown up. And also like I bought this book recently at 66 Books, honestly just based on the cover, and then I realised that she's quite a well-renowned thriller author. So like I absolutely love the cover. Honestly, the colour palette on this is just absolutely stunning. I absolutely love blue and different shades of blue on a cover. So yeah, that's this one. So those four are going to be the TBR, 2 on Kindle and 2 physical reads, 1 from my TBR and 1 from the library. So let's get reading. I am just about halfway through The Last to Disappear by Jo Spain. I've never read a Jo Spain book before, but I know that she is all over the place at the moment. Everyone seems to be reading her and hyping her up. So when I saw this one at 66 Books along with another one of hers, I thought I'd pick them up because they're like £2 each, and I'm really enjoying this one so far. So this is definitely a really good winter thriller. It's set in Lapland and essentially this book starts out, we have sort of 2 perspectives. We have Alex and Agatha, and then we also have a past timeline. So Agatha is the chief of police in this very small town in Finland, and she is a single mother to 3 children, and she has an abusive ex-husband, or the father of her children is very abusive and she has no contact with him, and it seems that maybe he's back. That's kind of what's going on in her storyline. And then she's also leading the investigation into the disappearance and murder of Alex's sister Vicky. So Alex receives a phone call from his father saying that his mother is in hospital, she's had a heart attack, he must come, and he lives in England I believe. And Alex travels up there and finds out his mother's had a heart attack. They were contacted by the Finnish police and were told that Vicky is dead. So Alex travels to Finland to repatriate her body back to the UK, and it turns out that they believe that she was actually murdered. So she was found in this lake and she had been missing for 6 weeks, and when they pull her out and they do this investigation, they find a head injury and they believe that she was struck over the head before she fell into the lake, and this is now a murder investigation. So we also have a past timeline of a woman called Kaya, and her husband is abusive. She's only 22 years old, she's pregnant by another man, and she is planning on passing this child off as her husband's baby because the man that she's having an affair with wants nothing to do with her. We don't know the name of the man that she was having an affair with. We do know the name of her husband. She disappeared. She's one of 3 women who have disappeared before Vicky, and Alex believes that these 3 women and Vicky who have disappeared could all be connected, and Agatha is maybe thinking that there's a serial killer on the loose. We don't really know what's going on. So at the moment they are just investigating what's happened to Vicky and trying to find answers. So this one is really, really good so far. I'm really enjoying the different perspectives that we're getting, the different timelines. I'm interested to see how they're all going to link together. I have no theories on what has happened to Vicky. It could literally be anyone, I feel like. I'm hoping that the ending is going to be as good as the rest of this book, because so far it's really, really good. She's revealing things in a really good way, as in she's leaving crumbs for you to try and resolve it. The pacing's really good in here. You're not bored, you're not thinking, oh, this is coming too quickly. Really, really good. I'm really enjoying the writing style. I will say that these chapters are quite long, which I'm finding, which I don't mind, but sometimes like it's almost like they should have shorter I'm sort of used to thrillers having shorter chapters, in that something gets revealed, the chapter ends, then there's a new chapter sort of discussing what's just been revealed and things like that. So the long chapters are taking a bit of getting used to, but I am enjoying the writing, I'm enjoying the story. This is such a good winter thriller. Like I said, it's set in Lapland. It's also set around Christmas, I believe, so it's perfect time of year for me to read this. Really, really good so far. Really enjoying this one. I'm gonna crack on reading the rest of this book and I'll check back in with you guys when I'm done. But so far, really, really enjoying this one. I have now finished reading The Last to Disappear by Jo Spain, and I'm gonna give this one a 4-star rating. So I really enjoyed this one. I did find it a bit difficult to get into at the beginning. I'm not sure if that was me. I just don't really feel like I want to read at the moment. I don't know what it is. I found this one a bit slow to get into, but I think that was just me. I just didn't want to pick this book up. But I really liked the ending of this one. I did guess one of the twists or like reveals, but that was only because there was only a few people that it could have been, and I feel like the author was really setting up to lead the audience into one direction, and I was like, I saw what you're doing and I don't believe you. So I did guess that, but I'm not mad at it. I really enjoyed the ending of this one. I think it wrapped up a lot of things quite nicely. It left one thing unresolved, which I'm a bit sort of like about, but it wasn't like a main plot point. Well, it kind of was. It was. I can't really say what happened. I can't say. Don't want to spoil anything. But I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed the writing style. I really enjoyed the past and the present chapters. Yeah, I just really enjoyed this one, and I'm definitely going to read more by this author. I've got a summer thriller by her that I've also got, and I know that she's got a few others, so I'm definitely going to check those out. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one, and I would highly recommend it if you want like a wintry thriller to read. Definitely pick this one up. It was very, very good, and I would highly recommend this author as well. But yeah, I just really love this one. The atmosphere was really cool. Like, it being in Lapland, it really made you feel like cold when you're reading it. It's definitely perfect for this time of year. Yeah, just really, really enjoyed this one, and I'd highly recommend. I have some reading updates for this vlog. So I have read Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. So in this one, we follow a married couple, Amelia and Adam, and they win a weekend away at this, what they think is sort of like an Airbnb place, and it turns out to be some sort of like creepy chapel. And essentially the plot of this one, it seems to be that neither of them are happy in the marriage, and it sounds like both of them are plotting to get rid of the other one, and then creepy things start happening at this chapel, and we find out a bit about their past. So Amelia works at Battersea Dogs Home, and Adam is a successful screenwriter who has been adapting consistently over the years this famous author's writing, and we kind of go from there really, and creepy things start happening, and that's kind of it. So this one I gave a 3-star rating. I enjoyed the writing of this one. We had Adam and Amelia in the present tense, and then we also had letters from each year of their marriage, and then we started getting a perspective of a woman called Robin who lives near this chapel. And I did enjoy the twists in this one, but I just kind of felt that a lot was left very open, and we kind of started things that we never really resolved. So like I said, it sort of feels like Adam and Amelia are both plotting to get rid of the other one. There's creepy things that happen, like something creepy will happen and Adam sort of like smiles like really sort of sneakily, and it makes you think that, oh, Adam's like set this up to creep Amelia out, or something happens and Amelia kind of does the same. Without spoiling it, they don't really go anywhere, and there's a lot that's left open and unanswered. So yeah, a lot of the sort of different plot points that were introduced kind of go nowhere, and it was just quite frustrating because you think, oh, this is gonna, like, you know, it's gonna be one of them takes the other one out, and that's kind of not really what happened. Like, the twist was interesting, but it was just kind of a bit and then resolution of this was a little bit disappointing as well. So I gave this one a 3-star rating. I don't really have all that much to say about it. It was just kind of like average for a thriller really. I am interested to read a little bit more from Alice Feeney, as I know that everyone seems to, she's like a really popular thriller author. I definitely have a couple more on my Kindle. I think I've got Beautiful Ugly on my Kindle, and I know a lot of hers are on Kindle Unlimited, so I'll definitely give a couple more a go. But I just didn't really like the resolution of this one, and that doesn't necessarily mean that she's not an author for me. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try another one of her books and see how we feel, but this was just kind of I don't really have too much else to say. It was just kind of like meh really. And then I have started reading No Exit by Taylor Adams. So in this one we follow Darby, and she has just found out that her mum has got terminal cancer, and she is driving to visit her mum, and on the way there's a horrific snowstorm and the road ahead is closed, and she ends up having to stop at this sort of like service station rest stop, and she gets something out of her car, and she notices in the van next to her a hand against the window. She imagines seeing this child with like duct duct tape around her mouth. She goes back in, she kind of tries to suss people out. She goes back out to the car and she discovers there is in fact a kidnapped child in this van, and this story is basically her trying to rescue the child, but also she's stuck at this rest stop with potential child nappers, and she doesn't know what's going to happen to this child. And I have to say, so far I'm about 50% of the way through and I am really enjoying this one so far. So I think that the sort of initial twist that we've had was really, I didn't see it coming and I really enjoyed it. I do have some theories potentially of what could happen, but I am really enjoying this one so far. The writing is really enjoyable and I like how the chapters are kind of split into times of the night, so it's really fast paced as well, because obviously it's only set over a night as far as I'm aware. I'm only halfway through, but it's really good so far. I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more than I enjoyed rock paper scissors. I'm just hoping that this one doesn't end up being disappointing, but this one comes highly recommended as well. But then so did rock paper scissors by Alice Feeney, so we don't know. But yeah, I'm enjoying this one so far and I don't really have too much else to say. Again, really, like the atmosphere is definitely really good for winter. Like I said, they're stuck in there's a snowstorm going on, they're stuck at this rest station. There's no power, so they can't really contact anyone, and it's just really creepy so far. And you don't know, is she gonna succeed in saving this child? What's gonna happen to this child? Like, what does she do? Because she can't just take the child out of the car into the rest station, because obviously there's the kidnapper there. And yeah, it's just really good so far. I'm definitely on the edge of my seat with this one, so I'm excited to get back to that one and I'll let you guys know when I'm finished with it. I have finished reading No Exit by Taylor Adams and I really enjoyed this one. I'm going to give this one a 4-star rating. So I really enjoyed the number of twists that we had throughout this. It really felt like you couldn't trust any of the characters. You didn't know if this girl was going to be saved or not, like what was going to happen to her, and it was just sort of like so many twists, but they were really good. Personally, I didn't see some of them come in, like some of them sort of like the page before when the hints were like really dropped. I kind of twigged then, but I quite like that because I'm like, oh yeah, I've realised it, and then it happens. So I really enjoyed this one. I'd highly recommend. Definitely really good for like a good winter thriller. Like the atmosphere, the location, the setting of this was so good. Like an abandoned, well not abandoned, but like an isolated service station where you've only got like 6 characters in this. So like, you know it's one of them and you don't trust anyone. It was just really good. I really enjoyed this one and I'm definitely going to be checking out more from this author. So on to the final book for this vlog, which is An Unwanted Guest by Shari Lapena. I have now started reading the last book for this reading vlog, which is An Unwanted Guest by Shari Lapena. I'm currently 215 pages into this one. So in this one we follow a group of people who are all staying at this hotel in the middle of the countryside. Now there is a massive snowstorm and they're all then trapped at the hotel and no one can get in or out. The electricity has gone down, so people's phones are dying and things like that. And then on the very first night of this snowstorm there is a murder. We have Matthew and Dana, who are a rich engaged couple. We have another couple, Lauren and Ian, who are boyfriend girlfriend. We have Henry and Beverly, I think her name is, who are married. They're having troubles in their marriage and they're basically gone on this weekend away to try and hopefully rekindle their marriage. We also have Riley and Gwen, who are friends, and then we have David, and I think then we also have James and Bradley, who are father and son who run this hotel. We also have a author called Candice as well. So we have quite a range of people, and then one of the guests gets murdered. It seems pretty obvious who the suspect could be, and then another murder happens, and where I've just gotten up to is obviously they're trying to solve who this murder is. It could be any one of them, but could it be somebody else? They basically think there could be someone else who's broken into this hotel and staying in this hotel who could potentially be the murderer as well. So we don't know if it's this unwanted guest or if it's one of the guests that are staying there. Now, so far I'm really enjoying this one. I do think Shari Lapena's writing style is really very basic. I think if you are wanting to get into the thriller genre, maybe she would be a good author for you, a bit like Frida McFadden. I don't love the writing style of this. I do think it is too basic. It's very much like she went here and then they did this and then they did that. But I am enjoying the story of this one. I'm interested to see who is the murderer at the end. Obviously I've only got about 150-ish pages left, so I'm excited to see who it is, if this is worth the read or not, because obviously I think with thrillers it depends on the final reveal, basically, if it's worth it. You don't want all this work to then it not be worth it. But so far I'm really enjoying it. I think think it's fantastic for this time of year. Like, it's really a good isolated snowy setting. They even have an ice bar in the garden that they all go to at one point. Yeah, it's just really cool. The range of characters that we have as well is really interesting. I generally don't know who it could be. I generally think it could be any single one of them. We do read from all of their perspectives, and I generally think there is things that they aren't telling us, and they're unreliable narrators. Obviously, they're not going to admit to us that they are a murderer, but I am interested to see, like I said, where it's going to go. It's really quick to read as well. I haven't been reading it for too long. Like, to be honest with you, the writing's absolutely massive in this specific edition, but it's a very quick read, very easy to get through. I'm gonna crack back on with this one now and check back in with you guys when I'm finished it. But so far I am actually really enjoying it, and I'm surprised. I'm definitely going to give, hopefully, if the ending's worth it, definitely continue to give Shari Lapena a chance, because I just think maybe I didn't like the first book that I tried to read by her, or maybe I just wasn't in the mood for her. Maybe I thought her writing style was a bit too basic. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna crack back on with this one and check back in with you guys when I'm done. Hey guys, so I'm just coming in to wrap this reading vlog up. I have now finished reading An Unwanted Guest by Shari Lapena. I'm gonna give this one a 4-star rating. So I did really enjoy this one in the end, as I said in my previous update. I think the twist on who the killer was really, really interesting, and I definitely didn't see it coming, but it does make sense. I think the atmosphere was really cool. Like I said, it's fantastic for a winter thriller read, and I think the introduction of a detective very near the end who was kind of like solving the case was really, really interesting. I like how this wrapped up. We'll say our characters were really interesting, and there is definitely, I actually think there is a dark side to everyone, and what does make a killer? You know, a killer doesn't go around wearing a badge on their jumper that says I'm a murderer. The conversations about like if you're pushed so far and what makes a killer were really, really interesting, because you had all these people saying, well, it couldn't be me, I'm not a killer. And so how do we know that you're not a killer? And I think with a lot of the things that happened in here, there were so many backstories to each of our characters that we didn't truly know them. And how well do you know people that you've just met? How can you judge them on whether they're a killer or not based on like a 5-minute conversation that you've had with them? I thought all of those conversations were really, really interesting. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one, a 4-star rating, and I'm definitely going to read more of Shari Lapena. I am sorry. I'm sorry to those of you that I may have upset in my vlog when I said I'm not reading her again. But yeah, I've been proven wrong, so I'll definitely be checking out more from her. So that is going to be it for this reading vlog, where I have read some winter themed thrillers. Please comment down below if you read any of these books. What did you guys think of them? Please remember to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more bookish content, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.